totally astounding. South Africa has had 6 elections, which have always been declared free and fair, and we've always had election observation by invited observers, which have numbered over 120 often, different countries as well as organizations. So to write such a letter, particularly to countries that don't have observation and that have very low participation rates in the elections, is rather surprising and a demeaning attitude and statement about South Africa and the people of South Africa.
But, the letter by the DA is directly to an executive in another country. That's not how ordinarily the observation process works. Often the observation works at the multilateral level, such as at the AU level, SADC level, Commonwealth level, and so on and so on and so on. And
hello there, guys, and welcome to Daily Updates. Wonders shall never end. The DA, who is a share of itself, has just done something that most voters who probably wanted to vote for them will change their mind. Now, when you look at the history of the DA as the opposition party, there is not much to talk about because they are the opposition party because people believe that there is an alternative to the ANC. Now, the DA shot themselves on the foot by making sure that leaders like Mmusi Maimane leave, Van Damme left, Mashaba left, Trollip left. The majority of the leaders, the black leaders who were there in the DA and who were making sure that they are gathering the black support, all left. And the DA was left with Helen Zille and John Steenhuisen as the leader of the DA, which meant that many people don't have confidence in the fact that why did Helen Zille come back? Who is John Vulligate Steenhuisen to lead the DA? Because the man has no integrity. So by these people coming back to the DA, it meant that most of the voters, especially the black voters, had a change of mind. The introduction of many parties like Action SA, many parties who can actually give the DA a run for their money. Now, when they came, people decided that instead of voting for that regular, useless opposition party that has never done anything in the opposition, we might as well just vote for new parties because they keep changing those leaders who don't even care about winning this election, who don't even care about the black leaders who are there in the party. Once those votes decided to shift and the white voters decided to say that, well, you know, Freedom Front Plus is a better option than the DA, leaving the DA to FF Plus, like the last national election, you could see that there was a major change. Now the DA is sitting there wondering, what is the best trick that I can come up with to stay relevant? They started that thing called the Moonshot Pack, gathering some few parties that we know that they are not going to make a huge change, gathering them and then working together, saying that, well, guys, this is what we need to work on. But those parties do not have that full trust on the DA. So now the DA has realized that there's a new party in town led by former President Jacob Zuma. And if we don't do anything about that party, we might as well just lose that belt of the opposition party. So what they did, they wrote a letter to the USA inviting them over to South Africa come the 29th of May so that they can watch over the election, because they believe that if nothing is done, they are not going to be free and fair. The letter reads, some of the extract says that for the first time in the democratic South Africa, the ruling party, the ANC, may receive below 50% of the national vote. The ANC may further lose control of a number of provinces, thereby losing their majority in the upper chamber of parliament, the National Council of Provinces. Furthermore, the recent establishment of the MK Party led by former President Jacob Zuma is set to gain significant support in the province of the KZN, which may have concomitant implications at the national level. We are of the view that MK poses a substantive risk to the continued peaceful nature of our political discourse as a nation. Those are the extract from that letter, which is a very useless letter. You can see that they realize that, well, you know what? They're saying ANC might lose and go below 50%, which is a very huge possibility. Now, they're also stating that we are worried about Jacob Zuma, which is another point to look at and say that the DA, all the parties that are contesting the election, they are not afraid of anyone. Ramaphosa has just said that anyone who is there to start causing conflict, civil war, they are going to be dealt with. But the DA doesn't believe in what Cyril Ramaphosa is saying. They jump all the procedures and go to the US. Remember, this is the same DA. When people say that we are with Palestine, they say, no way, we are with the people of Israel. The same DA, when people say, you know what, the fight between Ukraine and Russia, we need to look at it and understand it. They go running and say that we are with Ukraine. This is the same opposition party that they just oppose each and everything regardless of which one makes sense or not. And this one that they did, that is a big on goal, because the voters must think otherwise about inviting the DA to become that opposition again. I think whoever is advising the DA, whoever is funding them, is really powerful because they make charges. They tell them what to do, when to do, and how to do it. And unfortunately, whatever they told them this time, it will cost them dearly. And we are here for that. The DA has been there. We need a new opposition party. If it is the time for people to understand that voting for the DA doesn't change anything, it is now. Because no one in South Africa would jump ship and go to another country and invite them. Actually, the IEC actually went there to say that, well, you know what, the people that come over to watch the election are invited, and their bodies that we know that we approach them as the bodies, not as countries like USA. It's like you are inviting a powerful country to